Is Democratic Congresswoman from Minnesota, Ilhan Omar, and her husband, they are in the spotlight.
Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and her husband are in the spotlight, according to the clip we've just listened to. In the UK, we'd probably say they're in hot water. But why? Have a listen to some more of the report and we can find out.
Republicans on the House Oversight Committee launch an investigation into the couple's finances.
So the reason is Republicans on the House Oversight Committee have launched an investigation into the couple's finances. That's what the report said. They've launched an investigation into the couple's finances. That's what they've actually done. Now, the report asked the question why, and we asked the question why too. Let's have a listen to the answer.
We go to Nate Foy. He has more. Hi, Nate.
Hey, Dana, good morning. Yeah, a lot of digging required on this one because in just 1 year, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth went up nearly $30 million. The question is how? Here's what we know. Omar's husband, a former political consultant, owns a venture capital firm based in Washington, D.C. and a winery in California. Take a look at these numbers. In 2023, Omar disclosed a maximum of $50,000 in assets at the winery.
So Omar disclosed, as the report says, $50,000 at the winery. Nothing wrong with that. It's a business, $50,000, business making money, What's the problem? Well, I've listened to what he says next. I've listened to this next bit. Remember, 50,000, and I've listened to what he says now, the reporter. I've listened.
Dear Dana, that number increased to $5 million.
From 50,000 to 5 million in 12 months or less. 50,000 to 5 million in less than 12 months. It's unbelievable. The profit was amazing. I mean, if you're good at maths, work out in percentages. What percentages increases it? From 50,000 to 5 million. It's a lot of money. And some people do feel there's impropriety involved in the whole situation. I've listened to some more of the report.
Meanwhile, her husband's company, Rose Lake Capital, reported a maximum of $1,000 in assets in 2023.
Her husband's company is mentioned, and it says it reported $1,000 in 2023. Think about it, $1,000 in 2023. Nothing wrong with that, is it? The company's got $1,000 in 2023. Have a listen to what the report says next, and you'll be shocked. From $1,000, have a listen to what the report says next.
The next year, it was $25 million.
This is less than 12 months. From $1,000 the company had to 25 million in 12 months or less. So I think people do believe that there was some sort of improper conduct to get to those figures. Now, it's an allegation, if you want to say that. At the moment, it's an allegation. It's investigating it, looking into it, because they could be completely innocent. They could be completely exonerated and completely innocent of all charges and all wrongdoing. They might be completely innocent. I mean, you could explain it away with a lottery win. I mean, we don't know how the money. We can't say for definite how they got all that money. But it's a lot of money, the massive increase. If you go that math, work out in percentage, what percentage increase is it? Compared to what it said, $1,000 to 25 million. What percentage is that? I mean, if we can put it in the comment section if you're good at maths. I'm not really good at maths, so if you're good at maths, work it out. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So they're being looked at. But have a listen to some more of the report and listen to the claims of Omar mentioned in this report. Have a listen.
Despite that, Omar denied being a millionaire earlier this year, posting on X, quote, "I barely have thousands, let alone millions." House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer tells Fox News an investigation is underway, writing, quote, "The committee is working on addressing ethics concerns regarding Representative Omar and her spouse, and we hope to have an update soon."
So on social media, Omar has claimed, as it says in the report, she's claimed she barely has thousands, let alone millions. But one thing you can say about financial fraud, I'm not saying Omar's done it, it's an allegation. But one thing about financial fraud, I mean, someone could have 50 million, right, in the bank, but not under their name. So a person could have a bank account registered in their name, and it could be their name, their personal name, and in that account they could have the wages going into that account, and say they could say, oh, I've got in my account, I've got $2,000 in my account or whatever in a personal account, but you can have a company. A company like a company or corporation with, it's still yours, but it's not in your name, it's under a different name. It could be a company name or something like that. So even though it's not under your name, you control it, and the money's yours. So you could have 25 million in an offshore account, for example, or some sort of account where you're not actually named on the account, but you do control it. It's your money. You're fully in control of that account and that company. So you could say, wait, I've only got $1,000 in the bank. I checked my bank account, and that could be true. But then behind the scenes, you have got another account, which is to say, it's not necessarily in your name, where you have got millions in that account. It takes a lot. It does take a clever person and clever maneuverings to accomplish it, but it is a thing that is possible and does happen. It is, in fact, in some instances, depending on the circumstances, it can be a financial fraud. In other cases, you can have it genuinely, legitimately. You can have money in a company, for example, or you can have a business arrangements which are perfectly legal. But in this case, it's been brought out by, well, it seems to be a growing amount of evidence. There does seem to be evidence to support it that there is some impropriety taking place in the financial affairs of Omar and her husband. Like I say, it's an allegation. Make it clear, I'm not saying that they've done it. I'm not saying they're out of order. They've done it. I'm just saying there's allegations there, and there seems to be evidence mounting that the allegation is true. With the evidence mounting, and the evidence does seem to be mounting, pointing in the direction that there is possible issues. What does Omar do? Well, she does what many of the ilk do. She plays the victim. So she plays the victim. She's the victim in all of this. Have a listen to the next bit of the report. Listen carefully.
But Omar says she's being targeted.
Ever since I've gotten to Congress, they have been doing these sort of weird ethics investigations. None of them have yielded anything because I have been as transparent as I can be.
Omar then in the clip describes investigations as weird. What's weird about investigating financial fraud against the United States? Investigations launched by authorities, people in authority who want to protect the country and its finances from misuse. But she's saying it's weird, calling it weird investigations. But she's got nothing to worry about if she is an honest and upright citizen who hasn't done anything wrong. There's nothing to worry about with the investigations, is there? If she's completely innocent, she'll be exonerated, I'm sure. So we have to wait to perhaps the end of the investigation period, and we need to wait for the outcome of those investigations. But if the investigations do really prove that there has been impropriety, they will have to do produce a lot of evidence, because it'd be difficult to convict somebody. You know, it will be difficult, especially in someone in that sort of position. It'd be very difficult to convict somebody in that position, unless you've got lots of evidence. You do need a lot of evidence, because if you haven't got the clear evidence, she could weasel a way out of the situation. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Well, have a listen to what a famous entrepreneur said about Omar, and also what the President of the United States said too. Now remember, this clip regarding the entrepreneur, world famous entrepreneur, and what he said doesn't prove that she's guilty. But have a listen to what he said and have a listen to what the president said. Have a listen.
Of course, others see it differently. Elon Musk says Omar committed fraud, while President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, "She should be in jail or even a worse punishment, sent back to Somalia."
President Trump's funny. He said she should be in jail, and he said even worse punishment, sent back to Somalia. Now, you know, she did get in the US because of circumstances at the time when she was younger. But if all this is proven, really, it's an abuse of power, an abusive position, it's impropriety in a public office. It's a very serious offence, isn't it, really? If you've been taking millions, it's not even like, you know, like normally you hear about benefit fraud, maybe somebody claimed benefits in the wrong way, one person's assistant maybe claims. This is massive. It's not like someone just claiming a couple of quid or a couple of dollars. This is financial fraud on a massive scale. And interestingly, there was an interview recently with a lady called Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She was talking to a reporter regarding Somali fraud and that kind of thing happening in that community in Minnesota in particular.
You're from Somalia, so I wanted to get your take on the latest scandal around Somalians in Minnesota. This is an accusation that there's been lots of fraud against American taxpayers. Were you surprised when you found out that these accusations existed?
No, I wasn't surprised, because I think I first heard of this fraud in Minnesota perpetrated by some Somalis, I think as far back as 2013 or 2014. There were suitcases full of money that were being, and I think maybe that's how it was discovered. They were trying to fly out with the money, and someone had discovered it, and it had to do with daycare center. So I vaguely remember that, reading about it, and then in the other time thinking, A, the money might be going to Al-Shabaab, and B, it's in the news, and so the relevant authorities will handle it.
Is there something in the kind of Somali culture that might lend towards what they've done or what they've been accused of doing, this mass fraud? Why do you think it's the Somali community in particular that has seemingly been committing these crimes?
So I think the question that you pose on culture is really the most important question. This is not to say that other ethnic groups do not commit fraud and any of that. It's also not to say that all Somalis commit fraud. But it's to say that the Somali culture, going, I don't know, as far back as hundreds of years, is radically different from the modern Western nation-state culture of citizenship and individual responsibility. The Somali culture is divided into clans, and it's operated by the clan code and the clan culture, and that is collective and collectivist. There's no property rights the way we interpret the property rights in the West. There's also what's inside the clan and how the moral system that operates within the clan and governs, let's call it the insiders, the in-group. And then there's the code of how you are to interact with out-group people. So if I try and use this analysis to understand what's going on in Minnesota, if there are conversations about applying for benefits, taking those benefits for things that they're not supposed, saying that you're starting a daycare, there's no daycare, but you take the money. In a clan moral discussion, it would be, what are you going to spend the money on? Do you think we can be caught or not caught? It doesn't go straight away to, this is immoral and wrong. There'll be some individuals probably who have been long enough in America to understand, hey, that's a crime and it's a bad thing to do here. But those individuals will be quickly silenced and quickly sidelined. But broadly speaking, the clan will be, will say, hey, this is providential, this is, it's rizq, it's sustenance from God. And then take that money
she is herself Somali, so she can't call her racist because she's Somali herself. And she was talking about that issue of fraud in the community there. So it's a big one, isn't it, really? And it's also cultural as well, because different people have different views on financial fraud. Maybe the US and the UK and the Western countries have got a different view compared to maybe some other cultures might have a different view. They might view it differently. There's a great interview, like I said, online with Ilhan Ali, who was, as I say, she's Somalian, but she really does bring out some good points about this financial fraud and false claims for benefits that has been going on in Minnesota. It's all coming out. We're just going to have to keep watching the news, and eventually it will all come out, because nothing hidden will not be revealed. Eventually it will be revealed. When it's hidden, things do come out eventually. Sometimes it can take time, but all wickedness and everything that's not right comes out eventually. People do find out eventually. It can be slow process, but eventually the truth will prevail. It always does. And that's for everybody, not just for Omar. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate it. Oh, just before I go, one more thing. Can you just do me a favour? Subscribe to the channel. I need to get to 1,000. Subscribe to the channel. Click on subscribe and send it to all your family and friends. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video. Take care.